It's the
welcome the
first
bride
dance.
and groom.
Yeah, oh,
first
yeah.
dance type song.
Yeah. I mean, it's a marriage in heaven, just like it's a great marriage. Wait, what's his name? LaRussell said heaven sent that almost killed his career. J. Cole pulled up on Cameron. Tank hates Tyrese's turtleneck. Jay-Z's back talking and performing. That's great. And Ralph Lipschitz. Give me a brand deal, baby. Look, this is In My Humble Opinion podcast. It's me, it's Audacious Avery Diabolical Douglas. And I'm here with my brother.
Just Devon.
Yeah.
That's why it's just Devon, because you got a lot of adjectives.
I do. I got a lot of things.
Diabolical. Audacious, diabolical.
All the things. Look, we're just going to get to it. All right, our next guest is a visionary, entrepreneur, and music industry executive, best known as the founder and CEO of L.O.U.D Music, a Houston-based independent label built on the principle of living out your dreams. With a career rooted in strategic marketing, artist development, and artist building, don't want to say his name, but he's built a team of artists making waves in the industry. Manages Lil Flip. He has Tim Ned, Skylar Bliss, Cody Blake, and Fat Pimp, better known as Chris Murda. I love saying it like that. With his crew, he's restoring the feeling of a powerhouse record company that is a part of the city just as much as the city is a part of it. Friend of the show, and honestly, one of my personal favorites, Derrick McKinney, ladies and gentlemen.
Whoa, thank you. Thank you.
See?
Man, I need like to have that everywhere. When I wake up in the morning, I need to press play and
guess what? You got it.
Yeah,
it's going to be recorded.
I listen to that in the morning. My wife might be like, cut that shit off, but you know.
Lucky to have you here, brother.
Man, I'm lucky to be here, man. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for having me.
We thank you for coming out. Man. What's been going on?
Man, I don't want to be stereotypical and be like work, but you know, if anybody that knows me know me, like that's my fun is work.
It's always work. We were talking, we were working through some things. So we talked about some things too. We're going to bring something on here. You've been on, like, what got you on the workout plan? What it's a marathon.
Yeah.
A 5K, something a month.
5K a month. I do a 5K a month. I haven't got to the point where I want to do like the half marathons, or I just don't want to run for like 2 hours. That just doesn't seem fun to me. But the 5K, 30, 45 minutes, somewhere off in there, I'm excited with that.
For the Americans, though, what's the distance of a 5K?
Like 3.5 miles.
3.5 miles?
Yeah. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so for me, like, I'm not trying to get out there and run for 26 miles or 30 miles or cross country. Like, no, that's not me. That's not my thing. But this is just a way for me to push myself, challenge myself, do something different. And then, you know, over the years, as you get older, man, health becomes way more important than they told us in our 20s. Like, yeah, you want to eat right and be healthy, but when you're in your 40s, like, oh, so that's that shit y'all was telling us. We actually got to do it. So, you know, I just want to be healthy, want to live long, want to be here for my kids, be here for my family, man.
Perfect. And you want to be here for your label. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Want to be here for them too. I think they're the reason for the workout. It's my disconnect. It's how I can shut everything off. I don't have to answer phone calls or emails. I do a lot of my thinking when I'm running. Some of our best ideas have happened while I'm running. So that just, it gives me some clarity. I'm out there, I'm by myself, I got my headphones on, and I'm in my own head. And sometimes that's a bad thing, but for me, that's like, okay, Derrick, how do you get better? What can you do different? Yes, Skyra sent you this song, but what changes do you make? How do you deliver this song? So while I'm running, these are my thoughts. That helps me get through that uninterrupted time. And then, you know, most time I'll call the artist when I'm done, like, hey, I got an idea, or I figured it out. So a lot of the workouts and the running is what gives me that clarity to, like I say, I don't smoke. I drink every blue moon. I'm not out turning up. So what most people, their disconnect is what we do for work.
Yeah.
So I had to find a different disconnect.
I got a question, because we've been we've been saying something. I'm gonna ask you, and then I'm gonna say what we normally say. How long do you think it takes to make a brand new artist? Like going from when you find them to when they actually start to break, roughly how long do you think that time period takes?
I think that takes as long as that artist make it take.
Okay.
I don't think there's nothing today. If I don't know shit else, we can.
You
I've seen some of the interviews. Yeah. If I don't know shit else, I know success for loud music is it. We're fortunate that most struggles we don't have.
What do you mean?
And I don't say that like in a braggadocious way, but we don't have to figure out a marketing plan. We don't have to figure out an execution strategy. We don't have to figure out distribution. We don't have to figure out if we can get on radio. We don't have to figure out if we can get our videos on TV. We can do all of those things no matter who the artist is. Hands down, no questions asked. We can deliver those things. So most independent labels and artists struggle with that. The struggle comes in my opinion, right now, if you asking me this today, it comes from the artist. They're determining their own timeline. If an artist is willing to work it and bust their ass, it can happen. 6 months, a year, 3 months, it can happen whenever. Because you want to find, the executive Ray Daniels says something. It's like artists are too busy looking for magic instead of figuring out the science. We have figured out the science of the label side. It's just the artist got to figure out the science of being an artist, because they're constantly looking for a moment, a viral moment, a spark, some type of validation from the public to say, hey, I'm good. When sometimes that validation is like, oh shit, they've been consistent. They showed up. The music is jamming. Who they are online is who they are offline. Like, and most artists don't get it. They have this delusion of what it takes to be an artist. And if you ask 50 artists what they need to be successful, they're going to say money. I need to be on the radio. I need to be on TV. I need a publicist. I need this. Well, when you check all of those boxes and you only left with yourself as the artist, then what's your excuse? So I think that time frame really depends on that artist's level of education on the music business, that artist's work ethic, that artist's hustle, that artist's grind, that artist's sacrifice. I think that's what determines the timeline.
You know, I think it's, and I'll say what, I don't know if you say, I don't know if you necessarily agree with what I'm saying or if we're saying the same thing. Cause I always say it, on average, it's going to take you like 10 years. On average, I feel like it takes, like everything you're saying, I still think it takes a decade. Like you've seen the artists from behind the scenes and it's like, oh, it's all that stuff's building. Cause I feel like you're right. It is, however much your work ethic, all that, but even like top work ethic and things like that, we can bring up so many examples where I'm like, y'all are saying this a new artist.
But I don't. It shouldn't take 10 years.
Yeah, both can
you don't think so?
It shouldn't. It should. The reason why it takes 10 years, majority of the problems that occur are personal things. They're not the business things.
Yeah, because you're saying they got to figure out their end. Because they're looking at magic, and he's like, it takes 10 years because they're still figuring themselves out. Yeah. It
takes a while to figure that out.
But even when they're figuring themselves out, you still got to be like, okay, I'm figuring myself out, but y'all got y'all part figured out.
Yeah.
Let me get in line.
Yeah.
Like even look at Jeezy. When you go back to early Jeezy, I'm not talking about like when he was Jay. Mm-hmm. That voice was different. That voice was like, it was like, he had to figure out that.
Sometimes it's working that out.
But I think a huge mistake we make today is we cannot look at anything that happened in the music industry at least a minimum of 5 years ago. We can't look at anything or measure any level of success on anything that has happened in entertainment post-COVID. Pre-COVID is gone. Whatever happened pre-COVID, it'll never happen again.
Why do you say it like that?
Well, because post-COVID gave a lot of freedom on both sides. It gave a lot of freedom to creatives, but it also gave a lot of freedom to the industry. And that everybody having to stay at home, it showed the industry, just like it showed artists, oh, wait a minute, we can do this ourselves. We don't need the label. It showed the labels, well, wait a minute, we don't have to deal with y'all ass either.
Yeah.
And I had the labels, the major labels, I have more money, more infrastructure, more time, more resources. And now I don't have to deal with y'all. And people think this whole AI artist thing is just coming about. About 7 years ago, I made a shirt called "People Are Putting Algorithms Over Artistry." And I used to argue with my friends that worked at major labels. I say, stop asking me about Shazams. Stop asking me about followers. Stop asking me about TikTok. All y'all are doing are training the algorithms in their AI systems to replace y'all. So in 2024, when the black music industry bubble burst, and they started getting rid of all the black executives, all the urban music departments, is because y'all trained their systems to know what are the triggers, what are the hot button points, what are the benchmarks, what numbers need to be reached. Oh, and now we can dictate hip hop and R&B and black culture digitally. Why aren't they creating any AI Biebers? Why all the AI records sound like black women? The AI characters look like black women. Yeah. Like, all this is not something new. So that's why I say post-COVID, it showed them, oh, so wait a minute. We can fire all the A&Rs and just have A&R research. Just post on social media, and when something triggers, boom, we'll throw an ad spin behind it and make it go viral. So all of those things are so different, but it don't take 10 years. It took 10 years when you had to go to studios, you had to rehearse, you had to invest the time and energy bringing in musicians, you had to sit in the engineering session for 2 weeks to mix a song or album. All those times, the time that it took to do anything has been cut in less than half.
I can see the time getting cut, but it's still, you're having to cut through all of the stuff. Like, I don't know if I'm seeing too many artists that are popping up and getting it that quickly. That my whole thing is, whatever's behind the artist, it's like we're seeing the tip of the iceberg. Right. We don't see the time spent.
And that's the beauty of the artist's team and label, because they hide all of the bullshit so y'all don't ever have to see that.
I'm glad.
So you don't see why that artist is taking 10 years. You think it's 10 years of grinding. You don't know that artist bullshit is 6 years of that 10, and we just stuck by him.
Okay.
I'm glad it's like,
you know what I'm saying? Like
the way it used to be. We didn't see.
It's a lot of things that happen that you'll never see or never know or never hear about. And that's why certain things, like it may seem like 10 years, but if you ask anybody that has been with an artist for 10, 15, 20 years and ask them if the artist would have just followed your plan and stuck by you, took your lead, good and bad, even if I'm fucking up and making mistakes, let's make this mistake 100 miles an hour. Don't half-ass it to wait to say, oh man, I knew. Like, no. Because if I make a mistake at 100 miles an hour, I've learned so much. The next one, I can go 200 miles an hour because now I know what to do. If you ask any manager, executive, any label, how much of that time actually should have been, they won't tell you 10 years.
Okay. So with you, can you say, like, even with your label, what are some of that, can you be like, okay, these are some of the mistakes I feel my artists made that we made adjustments to?
All of them have made the mistake of not believing in themselves the way I believe in them. All of them have made the mistake of not pushing. I always say, you got to move with the excitement as if it will work, as opposed to with the hesitancy as if it don't.
Okay.
And a lot of artists move hesitant. And I'm not saying it's because of me or our team. A lot of artists move hesitant because they're still a little insecure about sharing their creation to the world. Regardless of the face that they put on, they still like, ooh, they didn't like it immediately. When me and Chris were discussing changing his name, it was like, I don't know if they're going to like the name change. And I was like, bro, trust me.
Now, and before when we talking about Chris, he was going by the name
Fat Pimp.
And Fat Pimp had built up his career.
Right.
Rag Daddy.
100%.
Mr. Rag Daddy. So it's like, so even with that, like, why was the decision to change his name? And then what was that conversation like when you're suggesting that?
Well, the decision was because it's hard to get Fat Pimp a brand deal. I can get Chris Murdo an opportunity.
Why is it hard to get Fat Pimp a brand deal?
Because there's such a negative connotation to pimp now. when we were going through sex trafficking and the Me Too movement, it's a lot of women in the industry that aren't touching a name with the pimp in it. Yeah. They're not touching it. And also from a marketing standpoint, if I tell a DJ I got a new Fat Pimp record, they automatically thinking it's a club record. That name held him captive to a sound. He's married. He's a father. He was there every single day while his father was battling cancer up until the end. So it's so much more that he has to share that Fat Pimp can't share. Chris Murdo can talk about it. Chris Murdo can be transparent. He can give that story because now there's no expectation of him being stuck in a certain box. Now the rebrand of Chris Murdo can say, hey, I'm married. I'm still giving records. I'm still giving hits. I'm still gonna make you dance in the club. You just might two-step instead of twerk, but you're still gonna dance.
You can hear the logic behind that, but that's also, I feel like for an artist that's established themselves, that's a big change where I'm like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody know me as this. Mm-hmm. I got followers on my account as this. The DJs know me as this. My fans know me as this. They don't even know my real name.
Process. It was a 2-year process. But that's the thing. The album is called But You Can Call Me Chris. He hated for people to call him Chris because he didn't feel like they knew him enough.
Okay.
So now this album is allowing him to be transparent so people can call him Chris. He wants people to call him Chris. He want to be transparent. He want to rap about other stuff. He want to be introducing. That's why we're doing the partnership with Coogee. That's why we're doing the partnership with other brands. And with Coogee, it's like, you know, you had Christopher Wallace, Biggie Smalls. So now you got Chris Murdo, Fat Pimp. So now we're able to do certain things and move certain ways with the name. And when people finally had a chance to hear the song that we were given, oh, it was a home run. People love it.
See, I didn't even know that was a partnership with Coogee. I saw him in the Coogee sweater with the Everybody Hates Chris.
He's done all of the Atlanta Fashion Week fashion show, featured Coogee model. Okay. New York Fashion Week fashion show, featured Coogee model. And once we get into actually doing all of the album content and the rollout, Coogee down to the socks.
Yeah.
I know you're Biggie's
talk. I love it.
I did.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, from a business perspective, like I know you know the metrics and things like that that you need to get for the label to be successful. From a person on the outside looking in, they know what they believe is successful. How do you gel those two? Because some people will be like, yeah, he got a Coogee deal, he got this, he got that. How are they getting this when I haven't really heard all the songs from him as of lately? Like, these are the things that I think people would say, because you have 4 artists that you are working and you've been working them and you're taking the time working them. Mm-hmm. But people are also going to be like, okay, so where's the music? Because, you know, somebody's going to be like, well, you know, my song on TikTok got this many views. That's what people are going to say. And so that's what people are going to say. Like, it's like, yo, I got 20,000 views on TikTok.
My answer to those people is nobody's believing you. See, the thing about it is, I'm proud to say that our team as a whole, and that's artists included, whoever they are and whenever they show up and whatever they say, you can believe it. When you see them on certain things, whether if it's with 97.9 The Box or Magic 102, or we got a partnership with the Houston Dynamo and Dash. We got a partnership with the Houston Texans. And people want to know, well, my song is on the radio. Why I don't get this? Or why my song is not on the radio? What the general public considers motion and what they're seeing on Instagram, it's all bullshit. It's all lies. It's all a facade. And some people are going to be like, well, why is this song playing and not mine? I got X amount of views on TikTok. I got this. Well, you done boosted some posts. You done bought some bots. You done did some things. But what I've done is I have taken the approach of building real relationships. I'm actually supportive of other people's businesses and brands when it don't have anything to do with me. I don't just show up when I want something from the radio station. So now they've seen the journey and they've been a part of it. So now when I talk to them about a song, they already know because they know about the rehearsals. They know about the fan engagement. They know about the marketing. They are well aware of it. Just because the general public don't see it. And then you also got to look at our marketing. We target 13 to 24-year-old white, Latin, Asian girls with our market. They're the number one consumers of hip hop. When you look at things on social media and you just look at certain blogs, certain podcasts that only paint a certain picture or a certain narrative that fits the aesthetic of their platform, that's not our target. That's not our audience. When you in off camera, I know we've talked about this. How many of us do you see at the Don Toliver show?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so when I look at the people.
I'm sorry. How many do you see at the Don Toliver show we were talking about back then? Because now I feel like people are catching on. But initially, it was kind of like, man, I don't know, da-da-da. And I'm like, I'm going to those concerts. I'm like, dog, Don Toliver is incredible.
And he's been selling out audiences that's not us. When you look at a lot of the Houston legends, when you go to their concerts, it's 75% Hispanic. So the audience and the crowd, the same crowd that's watching for Motion are the same ones that said Gunna was going to be done when he got out of jail. You know what I'm saying? So like, true. As a label, I literally ignore them all. I don't base it. And I think that goes back to that 10-year time span. Artists hear them all. And the artists aren't realizing like, those people aren't going to be fans of you anyway. They're only going to be fans of the latest drama. So I've done a great job of ignoring that and sticking to our plan, sticking to our system. And when I know that the music industry is in shambles, like they want me to commit $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 on a project. And I know Spotify is not going to do what it's supposed to do. I know iTunes isn't going to do it. I know YouTube isn't going to do it. These platforms aren't designed to make stars anymore. So we got to build an audience. We got to build a community. We got to build a rapport with people that actually want to hear what we have to say. Most of that is done offline. I think Tim Ned might have 13,000, 14,000 Instagram followers right now. We've probably personally met 9,000 to 10,000 of them. Like today, our VIP tickets to our May 14th show, the VIP tickets are sold out. Our House of Blues shows are packed every month. We did 3 solo shows for each artist at the end of 2024. All 3 shows did a minimum of 380 people. So you know what I'm saying? So I don't look at the usual metrics that everybody else gauge off of because they're all a lie.
And I think that's also understanding what the metrics are. Like you said, 300. When you say 380 people, a lot of people would be like, oh, okay, that's not a lot of people. That's a lot of people. 380 people is a lot of people.
You know how many artists with hit records can't get 380 people to go to a club? And we don't even do clubs. We do concert venues.
Yeah.
To actually buy a ticket and go see them that got major record deals on radio, on TV, on red carpets, and they can't get 300 people to go see them.
That's a lot of people.
And to do it with 3 different artists, all of them, I think it was like a month or 2 months apart. Even when we do our festivals, we have more artists fly in for the festival than we do here locally. They come from Australia. They flew in from Jamaica. They fly in from Delaware, New York, Philly, Chicago, Georgia, Florida. So our hats get shipped all over the country. Our Letterman jackets shipped all over the country. So my metrics I don't base it off what people say on socials.
Okay.
Because if we base metrics off what people say on socials, you know how many artists should have multi-platinum hits by now? You know how many artists should sell out? Like some of the biggest artists in the world can't tour. Their tours get canceled halfway through or before they even start because of low ticket sales.
Yeah, even Drake.
But they got motion.
No, we were talking about even Drake. We were talking about the Tank and Tyrese. Yeah. And Tyrese literally said you can't get hard ticket sales. I mean, I'm sorry, Tank said you can't get hard ticket sales. And if we're looking at star power, Tyrese would be perceived as the much bigger star.
I think
but
that comment was really skewed because I think Tyrese comeback was great. So yeah, anybody can tour if you're doing hotel lobbies.
Well, yeah.
So it's there's an artist, I won't say the name, did a tour. And everybody was like, "Oh, this tour!" And it was a new artist that just got signed. And me, excuse me, I had one of my interns like, "Hey, look at the tour. Look at every venue. Give me the venue, the city, the date of the tour, and the capacity of the venue." Okay, cool. There wasn't a venue over 200 people, a capacity over 200 people. Some venues had 115 person capacity, and they were selling tickets for $5. Did that artist tour? Yes. But it would take 3 to 4 of those shows to do what I did in one. So to the Tank and Tyrese part, now, and both of them are mega stars.
Yeah.
Both of them will do their thing. But Tyrese will do an arena.
I think that's why
Tyrese can headline an arena.
It does show the balance between the business. You can be an artist like Tyrese.
You can be a huge success in any of those pockets.
Exactly. Or you can do a Tank where it's like you can do it in different ones.
Right. And so, and I think that's why this age of metrics and analytics and algorithms has things so skewed. Because at the end of the day, it's somebody that's not like us programming those algorithms. Somebody has said, hey, we need to make sure whether if they're talking about twerking, ops or shooting or killing, hey, these are buzzwords and trigger words. Somebody put those in a system to say, hey, we need to make sure when these words are mentioned, these posts get here. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's still skewed. But what you can't fake, we're doing a vinyl release. One of our newest clients on the management side is GT 97.9 The Box. He has a project. So anybody you could think of is on this project. We're going to do a vinyl release. Yes, we're going to sell 200 vinyl packs. Come with a shirt, poster, the whole nine. Tim Ned has the Late Nights in London vinyl release. Shirt, poster, button, vinyl, the whole nine. Oh, this person got 1 million streams. Yeah, okay, but we sold 200 of these packs at $150 to $175 a pack. You got 0.000003 cents for that stream. Who has the motion?
That's true.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's one of the hardest things in Houston. There's some artists that, man, are working, that are busting their ass, but they don't get the credit they deserve because of the skewed social media and blog and podcast definition of what motion is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, one thing too, like, I mean, right now, it seems like the algorithm appears to be law. How do you get the insight to say, let me not pay attention to this algorithm? Because everybody else is trying to pay attention to that.
Because, and I don't want to sound like just some old guru ass nigga or nothing like that, but I think that's my talent. My talent and my gift has always been able to be a visionary and also be able to execute the vision. And when I was able to see, like, you know what? They're not telling all of us to input all of this information for no reason. Like, I'm smart enough to know, like, okay, y'all not telling us to get on Facebook and Instagram just to talk to people we ain't seen since second grade. Then now we're wondering why it's the #1 source of advertisement. Oh, these are all ad agencies. It's not a social media platform. Sure. It's an ad agency. And when you look at it as an ad agency, treat it as such. But people are still looking at it as social media. So for me, I was able to look at, like, you know what? This ain't right. I didn't agree with it. I didn't like the fact that what they were making go viral. See, when they did the back many years ago when Love and Hip Hop had the release of the sex tape with Mimi and Nico. I was one of the people paid to release the information. I was paid. I'm the one who put Nico's song Shower Rod up on iTunes. I created Text Nico to 41242. So that told me then what people think is viral, it's not. What people think is unscripted, is scripted. So why would I, in knowing that, believe that they're not doing that across the board? And I've just always felt like, I've had program directors, man, get a local dope boy in your city and let them stamp you for street cred and y'all go viral. Yeah, because somebody got killed in the process or somebody got locked up or somebody I feel like it's taking loud music longer because there's a lot of things I just won't compromise. I don't want the dope boy. I don't want the twerking, vulgar, cussing. Like, that's just not me as a person. So I wouldn't sell it the right way. I'll listen to it, I'll jam it, but I'm not the person that could sell it. So I've had people say, man, you should sign this kind of artist because with y'all machine and what y'all would do this. I only sign people I actually like. I had a conversation with Skyra, Tim, and Cody. I was like, talent, I can find talent. That ain't shit. I'm working with y'all because I want to see y'all win as humans. It's not just about as an artist. The people on my team and the people around me, I want them to win at life, just as human beings, period. If it's just about a record, I can go find a record. I got AI, I can create a record. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not about that for me. I wanna make history. Barry Gordy didn't give up on the Temptations. No. Yeah. He didn't give up on the Jackson 5. You know what I'm saying? Like, L.A. Reid didn't give up on Usher after his first album. So I'm in it for the long haul with the ones that I want to work with.
I guess the other thing, though, is with your history, because you've worked kind of all sides. Case in point, like you just said, you were working with marketing team for Love and Hip Hop. You've done stuff with FUBU. You've done stuff with the Disturbing the Peak, like Def Jam, all these companies. So you know how to market like that texting thing for the Love and Hip Hop. Mm-hmm. All right. That caught on like wildfire. Mm-hmm. Instantaneous. Man. Like, that's done. When you see something like that work, what are your thoughts of saying, all right, look, I, as a label owner, am not doing any of that. I got to do something else.
No, I didn't say I don't do any of it.
Okay. I
didn't say I don't do any of it. I think we are, we've always been at the forefront of most digital marketing. We're always ahead of the curve.
You just don't want the negativity that's associated with it.
I just don't do it, man. I just don't do it because I see how artists get swept up and caught up in that negative world of drama. And they feel like their next antic has to be bigger than their last antic to stay relevant on those spaces.
Yeah.
If that's what I got to do to be relevant on that space, and it can't be because of the quality of the body of work, then that's just not the space for me. That's not the venue for me. That's not the route for me. Because I don't want to put my female artists in a position to where certain dudes, there's a lot of ignorant niggas in this business, feel like they can say or do whatever when she's around. I don't want to put our other artists in situations where, like, oh, you were saying this online and now I see you in person, say this here. Because there are people who literally just sit online with low lives, good for nuts, who have nothing else better to do than try to find a way in through that negative route.
Yeah.
And that's just not us. We get a lot of backlash. Oh, they too professional. They call us stuck up because I don't do drugs. Like all bullshit aside, we catch. I hear the talk, I hear the negativity, and what a lot of people in the city don't realize, when you're shitting on me to somebody else because of the way I am or the way I move, that person uses that against you to come get next to me. It happens every single time. I see them out, they shake my hand, they smile, and I'm like, and without having a clue of me knowing, like, I already know what you really say. But we've created platforms that you really can't move without. And so I don't trip. I don't like, but we get a lot of backlash because we're not in that negative space. It becomes, Tim think he's too good. This person's Hollywood. I had a rapper tell somebody on our team, man, Derrick is a whole ass nigga, man. He act like he too good to do this. He act like he too good to do that. I had never met this guy a day in my life. Never been in the same room with him. And by the things that he said, the person on my team was able to say, was asking like, have you ever met him? Nah, I ain't ever met him. It's just because of what he was saying was so far off. Mm-hmm. And then when I did meet him, he didn't know that I already knew what he had said. I didn't say nothing. I played it cool, introduced myself. We chopped it up. Next thing you know, he called the person, man, that's a real ass nigga. I did not know he was that. Yeah, you had never met me.
Yeah.
So a lot of the things that are considered motion, the drama, the beef, the negativity, because they're talking about you online every day, but they're talking about all the bad shit. They ain't talking about nobody's records. I don't care to be a part of any of that conversation.
How are your artists? How, as your artists are developing, because that's the other thing. You take the face of your label. You're the forefront of that. You didn't choose it, but you're there. But your artists are really that they're out there. Mm-hmm. All right. I feel like they got to be looking at everything. They're looking at social media. They're looking at these things. What are their feelings on it? Do they have the same philosophy as you? Did it start out the same as yours? Did it change? Did it adjust?
Nah, I think it's adjusted over time, because it may be somebody that have something against me, but I don't let that stop an opportunity for them. The only time I will intercede is when I know they've actually done or said something directly negatively about that person. Because I ain't gonna let you just play in my people's face like that, because I don't work with nobody I don't genuinely care for.
Okay.
So the artist now, me, and watch how I put this together. Me, Tim Ned, and Cody Blake were guests at the Houston Dash opener in the suite. I said it that way for a reason, not to cap, but there's a reason why the soccer teams are inviting us, me and my artists, to the games and shooting content with them, because their music works in those spaces. So when we're there and we're talking and we just kind of just kicking it around, and they said, they notice how certain artists or certain people move and say things online, but totally different when they're in the same room. I said, yeah. I say, so when you see that switch up, don't give them the benefit of the doubt. Whatever that person did that you felt like was a little shady, a little iffy, that's the person you hold them to, because at least you can never be let down by knowing that in that space. But if you give them the benefit of the doubt and then they still end up doing some fuck shit, then it's like, oh, damn, man, I seen that coming. Like, nah, it's like, it's weird, man. It's weird. Like, the two people I talk to most in Houston is D-Rec and G-Dash. Those are my go-to guys. Okay. I call G-Dash pissed off and like, man, this G-Dash, like, man, D, you know me, I say, fuck him. D-Rec would be like, nah, D, don't think about it, worry about that. Yeah. It's cool. They very cool, mild mannered, but two totally different approaches.
It's like the devil
100%.
And the angel on your shoulder.
100%.
But also, even with the two of them, two people that kind of stay, I talked to D-Rec the other day, and you just don't, you're not gonna, you see them, but they are not always the ones that are out. You don't see them involved in a lot of drama. You don't see them like, they're just like, man, I can't work.
They don't sell records,
and I want to go home.
They're not loud about it.
Yeah.
And so, and that's why a lot of times I moved the way I moved, because I really just love the music business. I don't care for the antics that come along with it. I tell people I'm the most music business, non-music business guy there is. I want to be at home by 10, 11 o'clock watching Law and Order. I want to barbecue on the weekends. Like, let's go find some crawfish. I'm not the one that say, hey, where's the party? Let's do this. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I don't think I've earned the right to do that. Like, I still feel like there's so much more that I need to earn before I can take my foot off the gas. And in my brain, some of that partying and kicking and late nights and running around and all of that stuff, that's taking your foot off the gas.
It is.
And so for me, I can't afford to do that. I have too many people counting on me. And that's, I know, and I say this in damn near every interview, I need to make sure the people on our team, when the babies are going to college and if they need something and they looking to their parents for it, I need the parents to be able to deliver. I know that ain't my responsibility, but in my brain it tells me like, man, if these people are trusting you to follow your vision with this company, you got to make sure you do it the right way. I can't sleep. I can't do certain things because I know there are people counting on me to make sure this work. So what I look like being involved in drama, and that drag people with kids in with drama. What I look like disrespecting women online, and I got a wife and I got a daughter, and people on my team got daughters. There's ladies on my team. You know what I'm saying? How I think it's so hypocritical, but shit, fake shit has become the new cool.
It really has.
Hypocrisy has become the new norm. So all of the shit that niggas used to kind of get checked on, like, nah, that ain't how you're supposed to move. Now people are happy to move and get in front of cameras to talk about all the fuck shit they did to other people.
Yeah.
And that's motion. I don't want it.
Quote unquote motion.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that you've talked about is like, just you can't celebrate right now because you have so much further to go.
Mm-hmm.
What makes you want to get with this crew of people, with your Tim Ned, with your Skylar Bliss, with your Chris Murder? Like, what makes you want to be able to take this group of people to the promised land with you?
Because at their core and in their heart, they're just good people. Like, I don't believe in that you don't mix business with pleasure. If I can't trust you personally, I don't want to do business with you. Everybody on my team have been to my house. They've been to my mom's house. They've been to cookouts. I've been to kids' birthday parties. I'm going to graduations. Like, I genuinely want to see this group of people, from the artist to our team, win and be successful. I think that that's what makes a great record executive. Anybody today can fake whatever on social media and create whatever music with AI, but very few people are making people better. Like, at the end of the day, I want people to be able to like, yo, Derrick made me better. Not just as a better artist. Learn from me of what I did with a father, and you got some young kids like, hey, when my daughter was going to college, we made this mistake. I know your kid's about to go to college. Don't do this. Like, I just want our people to be better. And it's so much easier for me to lose money, to sacrifice time, to be away from home, because I know I'm doing it for people I care about. Could you really give that much of yourself to somebody you don't trust? You know what I'm saying? Like, could you really risk your well-being for somebody you felt like was going to snake you one day? So that's why, we get about 200 demos a month. Yeah. I mean, you would be surprised the people who reach out for help, but get online and is a totally different person. They say all this other shit, but in the inbox and the email and when you bump into them in places, man, D, we got to sit down, bro. Such and such ain't do this. Such and such ain't do that. I need somebody like you, bro. I need somebody professional. I need somebody like you, because such and such over here ain't doing this.
Yeah.
Why would I fuck with you and you shitting on the person that's sacrificing their life and investing in you? You told me more about you than he could ever do. So, like, it's so much of that we see every day. It's why I'm comfortable giving my all to the ones I got.
Do you feel like the city's putting on for you?
Oh, no, not at all.
Not at all. I was scared to ask that question.
Yeah,
I was scared of your answer.
Get into it.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Okay, but when we talked years ago, just doing interviews, and when you've been on here, initially you were saying like you left. You left Houston. You traveled. You've been in different cities working with various companies in the industry, and then you're like, yo, I'm coming back to Houston. I would like to build something here, Houston. Are you still on that path? How do you feel do you feel like the industry is shifting or changing here for the better, for the worse, or there's no change at all?
So I think the industry here is changing for the worse. Okay. And it's going to sound, oh, he complained. And because I'm doing the interview, I'm just going to talk about myself.
Okay.
We do an event that you guys have attended called the L.O.U.D Radio and Press Junket. Loved it. Phenomenal event. How many artists did you meet at that event that's not from Houston?
It's mostly
artists that are not from here. We brought in BET, Revolt, Music Choice, Pandora, SiriusXM, every major platform that they could think of, and had the full Radio 1 staff there. Yes. But there are cats right here in this city that won't show up. And it's like, dude, you complain about the support and the industry and this and that. And then I brought half the industry here. I had Sean Barron here 2 years in a row. Sean Barron is the hottest record executive on the planet right now. Leon Thomas, Ty Dolla $ign, Easy Money. He was right here listening to demos. Anybody can play your music, let them watch a video. BET, they watch a video. We put more videos on BET for free than anybody in the city. No artist, they bought a ticket to the event, but if you got your video played on BET and all these platforms, you didn't spend a nickel. You didn't pay for none of the interviews you did. Your interview and meeting with SiriusXM, if you weren't on Pandora, you were sitting down with the head of hip hop and R&B of Pandora. You were sitting down with the senior vice president of program for SiriusXM. If that's not putting on for the city, I don't know what is. Oh, because I didn't let you stand on stage and hold a bottle? Oh, because I'm not in your studio at 2 o'clock in the morning smoking? But I just brought half the country to Houston for you. Or I do a festival where we have 3 stages. We average at least 2,000 people per festival. You're not rappers for rappers. You got fans. You got actual people there, and people fly in for it. We do the House of Blues the first Thursday of every month. Artists don't have to pay to perform, and it's free to get in. You do a 10-minute set. You can bring all your people. You can do whatever. You can film it. You can get all your photos. But when you start having conversations about record companies in Houston, we're never mentioned. People don't book Skyra on shows because they don't want her to show up other female artists. I've had club owners tell me. Like, I've had on multiple times, well, Derrick, they didn't really invite y'all out or put your artists on the show because Loud Music got a backdrop and they're going to do all of this. I'm like, oh, because we're going to be a real record company and do what we're supposed to do. So no, I don't feel like it puts on, and it's only when it's out of convenience for them. Mm-hmm. It's only when if an artist, oh, I'm not performing, I'm not going. I think that's kind of universal though. Yeah. Artists like don't go to a place that they don't perform at. But I tell them, like, if you want to perform on our shows, come to our events, meet one of us.
It's networking.
That's
it.
You should be doing it anyway.
I mean, you have all the network. I remember the first Loud Fest that we attended. You brought out, R.I.P. God rest her soul. You brought out Sheila Jackson Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you had everybody. Like, you've always put on for the city. What makes you say that this is the city that I want to put on for if they're not loving you back?
Because I live here. Mm-hmm. It's the arguably 3rd, 4th largest city in the country.
Yeah.
Third. We're bigger than
officially
Chicago.
fourth, but
Bigger
I'm
than
telling you right
Chicago.
now.
Okay, so arguably
The president
third or
scared
fourth.
away a lot of certain demographics. So they didn't show up for the census, and I understand why y'all didn't.
Yeah,
but if they had been on there, we've been third.
Where we rank in the country when it comes to diversity, U of H is the most diverse university in the USA. What better city to break your music at? Because everybody wants diversity in music. You want to cross over. Everything that people try to travel to go find is here. There are fans here. And that's why we knock on something. We haven't had a bad event in, I don't know.
Ever.
Yeah, I can't say, man, nobody showed up. We've never had that problem. But we also aren't trying to grab the same person that's in the club all night. We actually, if we focus on music and our mission is to connect with music lovers, that's what we talk to. I don't care about the person who they only want to go out because it's hookah. You're not my fan. You're not my target. You'll catch wind of it eventually. But the ones who want to discover new music, we run our ads, new music lovers, music discovery. Like, I'm looking for people who are going online and typing in what new artists, what new concerts are coming. Those are the people I'm looking for. And they're all over the city. They're everywhere. And if you luck up and bump your head and find the right community of people that's willing to rock with you, shit.
And I mean, sometimes that takes, I think it's just like a constant exposure.
Mm-hmm.
Case in point, Tim Ned, who I've seen y'all with Tim Ned multiple times. I was like, oh, Tim Ned, good producer. It wasn't until you invited me to the where he was performing late nights in London.
Uh-huh.
Well, I was like, oh, this is dope. Then I look it up. I said, oh, this is old.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I had never even heard of this. And I think about that where it's like, sometimes you just pop up on an artist, you'll name like a Leon Thomas or something like that. You look them up and I'm like, oh, they got like 2 albums that I didn't even know about. And so you're still working. I mean, case in point, Tim Ned is getting ready to release another an updated deluxe version of that album. So even with that, like sometimes it just takes that kind of product. I think that's the work of a record label, and overall should be the work of an artist, where it's like, my biggest complaint is like a lot of artists here do not work their music for long enough.
No.
Like,
that's how you get that 10 years.
Yeah.
That's how you get that 10 years.
No, I mean, we talked about that where, we'll talk about like, let's say go back and, that everybody was going back and forth on the Kendrick and Drake thing. And my whole thing is like, so Kendrick not like us. I said, yeah, I'm sure Drake hates that song. And I'm like, the second person that hates that song, probably Kendrick.
Yeah.
But it's like, I got to go do this song. We get stories of like people not liking their hit song because they're like, yeah, it was great when I made it. And now I need to come up and do this song every single time. But they do it. And this could be somebody working a song for 1, 2, 3, 4 years before everybody hear it. And then it's just like, oh, it's everywhere. And it
took Rich Boy 4.5 years to throw some D's on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a process. And those of us who got into the music business to be record executives, we understand that sometimes that's the process. People who got into the music business because they wanted the aesthetic and the look of being in the music business are the ones jumping around and bouncing. But those of us who know it's like, shit, somebody who want to play football, they know there's a process. There's trainers, there's practice, there's 7-on-7, there's summer camps, there's off season. Like, there's a process. You don't wake up and like, oh, I want to hit the NFL.
Yeah.
I think I got it today. What you mean it's going to take me this many years? Nah, man. Who do we need to call? Who do we need to get on the phone? You know what I'm saying? Like, the music industry, when you approach it that way, say, hey, I know it's going to be a process. I love the process. I love when shit go wrong. That's the only moment I get a chance to see if I'm as good as I think I am. Man, we've been in full-blown concert mode and the sound went out and everybody's having a meltdown. And in less than, hell, this past Loud Fest, at 7:30, the sky fell out and it poured down raining. Like massive thunderstorm. And we still had about 30 artists that hadn't performed. Ooh. Within 30 to 45 minutes, we had everything back up and running on the inside of the venue and went back through the lineup. All of the artists that got to perform, they were like, thank you for letting us perform, but thank you for not canceling, shutting it down. Thank you for getting it back up and running so quick. Thank you for, like, when I know Dame Dash says all the time, a general is a general because you know how to move when it's a war. Generals wait for the wars. Now that's my moment to shine. Generals don't shine any other time. But when shit go wrong, oh man, come on. I'm excited. I tell people, I use the analogy of, as a kid playing basketball, you would do a countdown to hit the game-winning shot. 3, 2, 1. You hit the last second shot, the buzzer beater. You won the championship. But in order to do that, you had to have been down. We didn't know it the whole time. We were practicing being down by 1 or 2. We were practicing for the comeback. We were practicing to achieve that momentous victory of pulling out at the last minute. It's no difference with me in the music industry. I understand I'm playing from behind. Playing from behind today is I don't sell drugs. I don't scam. We don't have strippers. We don't do drugs. We don't fit the stereotypical mold of a hip hop urban label or with rappers or singers. But unfortunately, the algorithm makes us play from behind because that's what the algorithm triggers and moves and puts in front of you over and over and over and over again. But there's a reason why the 90s and 2000 artists are killing the touring, because people still want to hear good music. It's just my job as a CEO to lead our soldiers into the war of the music industry to find those people that still want to hear good music.
You know, when we're talking about, and we'll get to Loud Fest, Loud Press Junket. Mm-hmm. Do you plan on keep doing it?
Yeah. We're working on some partnerships now. It might end up in Atlanta.
Okay.
I think if we do it in Houston again, it'll be a smaller version. But I think if we do the partnership the right way that we're working and negotiating on and doing it in Atlanta, it'll be the biggest. It'll be the biggest music industry event in the country. And I'll say it like that. Once we finalize the partnerships we're working on for 2027, it'll be the biggest. Like, you'll have the Grammys, you'll have the Billboard Awards, you have the BET Awards, you have the Loud Radio and Press Junket.
Trying to restore that feeling like Jack the Rapper was.
Man, I'm talking about this will be, we'll have every urban radio station in one building. And every radio station around the country will be telling every artist in their city, meet us in Atlanta for the Loud Radio and Press Junket. See, that's that strategic motion that people don't see.
I think that's the other thing too. You do have insight where it's like, it takes kind of experience to understand, like, if you were there and you saw that Rich Boy Throw Some D's on it took 4 years, then as a record executive, when you're working something, you're like, oh, okay, this takes time. We just working the record like we're supposed to. As a person that just listens to music, one day Throw Some D's didn't exist, and the next day it was everywhere.
Biggest thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so it just popped up. And the other thing too is that, and then a few days later, it was gone. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so that's how I think that's the other thing. It's like you do have, I forgot who said it, but it was just like, one thing about the music business is you can get in deep into the music business years and years, decades and decades, and then try to learn the business side of it. Mm-hmm. And that's not something that happens in every other business. You can't go be a surgeon and just be like, get in there. And you're like, yeah. Business. So anybody can get in there and just like, and that's how it works with entertainment. Like, it's like, I can be in here and we see that all the time.
You can set up an Instagram page and say, I'm a manager.
Yeah.
And don't manage shit.
Yeah.
But you can repost all the memes and all of the deep quotes, and people are in your comments like, oh man, bro know his stuff. Bro don't know shit. Bro just reposted 60, 70 other people and created a page, and now all of a sudden people think this person is an expert, and they were never in the rooms. We have my guy Ken Cashman. He created the greatest Instagram group chat ever. Every major executive and DJ is in one group chat. I mean, like the who's who. And one thing that happens is when interviews and certain things come out and we share them in there, niggas were like, nah, he lying. I was there. This is how it happened. Nah, that ain't how that video shoot went down. It went down like this. Nah, it went over like one of the greatest Black record executives we've had in our time is a good friend of mine, Jeff Robertson. Jeff is the one who gave us Alicia Keys. He also gave us her. It's not too many people that has outsold Jeff Robertson. So it's a lot of things that he'll say or post and do to give great, phenomenal insight, to give great advice. And even if he's just sharing his story on how things happen, but saying that to say, it's people who've actually been there and done it and know the real, as opposed to everybody online with motion.
Yeah.
Everybody that's popular, people that were never there. Just because they got a microphone and can put a ring light in a certain space and have the fancy words going across the screen. Oh yeah, he must know what he's talking about. Would you let that nigga operate on you? You don't hear doctors just get on there with a ring light and just like, what is your credentials? How many surgeries have you performed? Like, what do you, in music, it's like, oh, bro got X amount of followers.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all we need. But again, I think that's one of the reasons why I say it's not getting better. That's why I say it's getting worse.
Which I guess that kind of alludes to it. Like, so Press Junket, if it was here, it'd be smaller, but you're looking to take it over to Atlanta.
Yeah.
But even
and I guarantee we'll have more people from Houston go to that one. They'll pay more.
Yeah.
They'll travel. And just to say they was there at the event in Atlanta.
You think it's like that kind of like familiarity breeds contempt, where it's just like,
oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And there's also a competition and a jealous spirit. Like, there's no way I can let them surpass me. And they right there. Or I could touch them or I could see them. You know, it's a lot of talk about collaboration right now, coming together. Nobody ever has that conversation when they're on top.
No.
You see what I'm saying? So for me, I'm like, I don't want to hear none of that shit. Nobody ever talks about collaborating when they have the hit record. That's when your collaboration is at its most valuable.
Yeah.
But you wait till you don't have a hit record. Man, the city got to get behind us. But you was shitting on the city when you was on top.
There's no obligation for somebody to get behind you.
In the history of ever.
No.
And so that's why I look at it like, I see a lot of the movements and things that's happening, and I see how disingenuous it is. And I purposely stay far away from it. Because if you are in the music business and you know who fuck with each other.
Yeah.
You know who don't. You know that, like, oh, okay, either the person you was managing or your project or your funds or something's not working right for you. Now let's collaborate. But when you was high on a hog moving around and you had everything popping, shit, you didn't have time to collaborate. To whereas I would like to think I'm the exact opposite. When I get an opportunity, I'm picking up the phone. Hey, can you be here at this? Can you come to this game? Hey, I want to introduce you to this. Like, I believe in collaborating at the top. That way now we all have that top value. And so now when we need something, we're not pulling from the bottom for what we needed. No, we're all here. I feel like that's where the successful millionaires and billionaires, they collaborate while they're on top. They don't wait till they don't have shit to say, hey, we need to get together and collaborate. Well, you ain't got shit. If we all got $1 million Why not pull it together and everybody take $250,000 to do something? Or let me lose my $1 million and now I want to have a meeting. Hey, y'all, I think we should put our money together and I think we should do something.
That's wild.
I wasn't trying to put my money together beforehand. I feel like that's what a lot of the shit that's going on in the industry right now.
Are you speaking, when you're talking about the industry, you're talking about Houston specifically?
I think about, I'm speaking on Houston, but I believe that happens everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't think that that's just exclusive to Houston.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it happens in Atlanta, in LA, in DC, in New York, in Chicago. I'm pretty sure that happens anywhere that has a strong rap community. Mm-hmm. I think that happens in almost any sector of industry. But I can say, like, for us in Houston, people don't, who collaborates when they're on top? Who collaborates when they actually are holding all of the cards to say, hey, I'm hot as hell right now. Me and you, let's do this. And now while we're working on this, me and you gonna work on this merch line over here. And then me and you gonna go over here, we're gonna shoot these shorts and these films for your content as a comedian. Because I got the hot name, so let me expand our industry real quick and get this thing rolling. Or, nah, bro, you gotta book me. Yes, you should be paid for your time. And yes, I'm not saying nobody should ever turn down no money, but have that same collaborative energy then that you will have now. That's just my perspective on it, man.
Now, is it your plans too? Is it the same plans with like L.O.U.D Fest? Are you planning on taking that to Atlanta as well? Or
no, I'm actually rebranding and changing L.O.U.D Fest.
Okay, so why the rebrand and what are we doing the change for?
I felt like artists have gotten too comfortable with it. Artists will come to L.O.U.D Fest and perform the same music this year that they did last year. I think it's become, I tried to get away from it. I caught hell one year not doing it.
You know, actually, before we even get into that, getting away from it. So the L.O.U.D press junket was you trying to create or bringing basically all of the press into Houston. Mm-hmm. It's like, let me bring these outlets that aren't normally here and aren't normally collected. Let me come here. And then that way artists get a chance and people can fly in, be a part. So you got artists on there. L.O.U.D Fest, describe what that is and then what were the goals for that?
So L.O.U.D Fest is an indie music festival for all indie artists to be able to perform in front of fans. The goal was to give people a real festival experience like they would get anywhere else that they wouldn't normally be able to get on. And it started because Free Press Summerfest wouldn't return our calls. They wouldn't give us a shot. They wouldn't. So like I could either sit back and cry and wait like, oh no, they're not putting us on a festival. Let's create L.O.U.D Fest. We did the first one at Fox Hollow and we did 100 artists and we was there till like 2 a.m. And we probably did about maybe 400 people that day. And that was the artists and whoever came with them, you know, and we did it. And we did it every year since, except the COVID year. And then I think 2024 or 2025, I think, one of them, I didn't do it. But it's the mission is for artists to be able to come and get out, get content, record your sets, perform original music. Our maximum ticket price is $20, but we give away like 5,000 free before 2 p.m. tickets to it. It's all designed for artists to get in front of real people in an outdoor festival setting. Food trucks, vendors, games, DJs, music, multiple genres of music. Like, that's the whole mission of it. So artists can get a real festival look, put it on your resume. But too many artists weren't taking it serious. They were treating it as, oh, I got a show at a hookah lounge. Let me go here. And it was like, nah, like rehearse. Put together a show set. Actually, I send out a marketing strategy to every artist that's performing. I send them out a social media plan. Everybody get their own individual flyers. They get a festival flyer with everybody's name on it. Mm-hmm. The hoodie has the logo on the front and every performing artist's name on the back of the hoodie, and the t-shirt, banners, step and repeats, everything. And so I just noticed artists just wasn't taking it and holding it as serious as I felt like they should. They became too comfortable. I know Derrick. I know Miyoshi. I know Bradley. I just pull up with Skyra. And I was like, no, that's not what it is.
You think the barrier to entry was too low? I mean, look, there is something to be said about the fact that it's like, yeah, it's a festival, but when we're allowing 100, 200, like however many people come on, some of them are going to be great. And some of them just going to show.
So I think what it is we would do between 75 to 100 artists, 3 stages. Last year we had 2 stages. But here's the problem that I think. I don't want to be the person to tell you your music isn't good enough. Because now with social media and the internet, it's so much shit that I would never listen to, but it works.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for Loud Fest, I removed the A&R hat. Artists would buy a slot from $100 to $150. More than half of them don't pay. Like, people didn't have a job. Some of them single mothers. Some of them, but they wanted the opportunity. I'm like, cool. Send your stuff in. I got you. I'll put you on. Never no back and forth. Never no struggle. But I've also learned that a lot of times when you give people those opportunities and make it easy for them, they treat it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the requirements are you got to have a press kit. It's the same requirements that you have to meet with the Recording Academy to become a voting member. Got to have a bio, press kit, high resolution photos. Got to release the project in the past 12 months. It's $150 to perform. That $150, you get a 15-minute slot. You get the flyer with just you on it. You get the festival flyer. Your name is on the step and repeat backdrop. You on all the t-shirts. You on all the hoodies. You on all the advertisement. You on all the posters. You on all the promo flyers. You get all the marketing. And you have the link to let as many people in as you want free. You know how many people won't take advantage of it? I have more out-of-towners fly in and kill it than those right here in the city. So now we're going to rebrand it. It's going to be a lot smaller. We're going to handpick the artists. It's going to be more of a boutique style setup. We'll have multiple stages, but there'll be an acoustic guitar set. There'll be a house music set, be a hip hop and R&B set. And I'm not doing any underground artists. You have to want to be mainstream. You have to want to be on the radio. You have to want to tour. You have to want to be a major recording artist. This is not for the hobbyists. This is for the ones that want to be taken serious, because the people I'll have there are people that can press a button to change your life. And I'm not going to put just anybody in front of them. It's going to be a sexier setup, a smaller setup, still outdoor, still festival vibe, but it's going to be more, you don't think you left Houston and went to LA for it. It's going to have a totally different feeling, a totally different vibe. Miyoshi is really helping us curate the look and the feel for it. She understands a lot of what I'm looking for. And then she has the as a creative director and a stylist, she has the eye of how things should be.
Has the eye. Shout out to Maya.
Yeah. And so we're going to do a lot of that, a lot of things with her. She's going to lead the charge on a lot of that, but it'll be a totally different vibe. And so now it's going to be a lot of artists. You're just going to have to buy a ticket to get in. You can't perform. But my hopes is that you get there and you see it like, oh, the bar has been raised drastically. Not a little. The bar has been raised drastically.
And this is you putting on more of an A&R hat. Like y'all are gonna, this is gonna be you selecting the artist, the team selecting the artist. Okay, so this is gonna be the team saying, all right, these are the artists that we particularly want on. So it's a more curated festival.
Yep. We'll dictate the flow of it from start to finish. It'll be 100% programmed.
You threw up the quotes when you said underground artists. What do you mean by that?
I think a lot of artists use the term underground to be lazy. They don't have a clean version to their music. we underground, so they don't, if they can't smoke on stage and move how they want to move and all of that stuff, or it's a dress code, or I can't do this or I can't do that. But we're underground artists. Your records ain't mixed and mastered properly. But we're underground artists. You know, like I feel like a lot of times people use the term underground artist as an excuse to be lazy. I don't think it's a sound. I don't think it's a culture. Underground used to mean that like you're intentionally making the backpack overly lyrical. I'm not trying to be on the radio music. But now you have people like, they want to be on the radio. They want to be in the arenas and the House of Blues, but they want to do it under the guise of underground. So no, I don't have it mixed and mastered properly. I don't have a clean version, or I don't have high resolution photos. What you mean I got to wear a shirt on stage? What you mean I can't smoke? It's no smoking. So just over the years of doing shows and festivals, I've realized that a lot of people use the term underground as an excuse to do all the other bullshit. It's no longer a sound. You know, you like, I'm an underground artist. Oh, I'm thinking of the East Coast backpack lyrical.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you have no desire to be accepted by mainstream. Now you have artists who want mainstream money and fame and success with this low level of thinking and action and calling it, I'm an underground artist.
And you speak for that, but I mean, I will say, because we talk, and it's usually, we talk online, we'll see you online, all those types of things. And it's like, you take the perspective a lot of times, like the artist got to do more.
100%.
And it's not the label's fault. and that's not to say like in a lot of these examples, because I do think it's a nuanced conversation, because we have so many artists, major artists that we have seen argue with labels that have grown and matured and become established and been like, hey man, like, yeah, we was arguing with the label. We was young. You know what I'm saying? We was young. I think part of this is just—
What artists have you seen argue with the label and the label fold?
Oh, I've seen the labels fold, but like because they were arguing with the artist? Nah.
How many artists have you seen get mad and pissed off at the label and leave, and you never hear from the artist again, or they never?
Absolutely, absolutely. And we've seen artists argue with the labels and then come back later on and be like, "Man, we was kind of tripping on that part."
You know what I'm saying?
We was tripping on that. I was thinking about the locks in particular, and that's not to say that there are not situations where labels take advantage of artists or things like that.
Can I tell you something?
Go ahead.
I've never taken one dime of any of my artist show money.
That's commendable.
Yeah.
Whatever they get booked for features, for shows, as a producer with Tim, I've never taken a dime of any of their money, because I know they're independent artists still making it they need it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I sleep well at night knowing I'm not the slime ball taking advantage of them.
So with you, even the end goal, where it's like, okay, so say one of your artists, you want to grow L.O.U.D, because like you even just said, like they're like an independent artist, because it's like, hey, we are a boutique label. We're growing. Would you do a deal with like a major? Like, it's like, hey, I got Tim. We want to. Yeah. Okay.
Because like LaFace did the deal with Arista.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, I want to do the deal. I'm not the person to say, yo, I want to just be independent, because most of the people that scream, I'm independent, they're still funded and backed by a major entity.
Okay.
You're independent just means you make your own decisions, and they gave you the money up front to make the decisions. You still owe somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're still going through a distributor. I think a lot of times people like, yo, I'm independent through such and such. Yeah, but they also have a staff of 1,000 people, and you got promo teams and publishers and marketing team. Like,
I would always look at independent as a— well, no, I would look at independent. I feel like it's two conversations, unless independence is defined, because I thought independence is more of control of what you're doing. Because I'm like, no, I can make a deal with anybody. You know what I mean? I think a lot of times
Independent is
people
when you're
look
spending your own money.
and I think a lot of times people look at independence as like the size of what's happening. Like it's like, oh, well, there's a whole staff over there. It's like, yeah, I got a staff over there. Yeah.
We're funding our own shows, our own concerts, our own videos, our own tours, our own merchandise, our hats, our jackets. That's all internal.
Yeah.
There's no investors. There's no scams. There's no rich families. There's no aunts. There's no uncles. It's all internal. It's us. So we're 100% independent.
But you're still open to the idea of like if a record label comes along and it's like we want to do some kind of deal with you.
That's my goal.
Now we're okay. That's
my
your
goal is to do that because Houston does not have a major label door.
Yeah,
there's not an office you can walk up to. It. Universal, Def Jam, Atlantic, Warner, or whomever. Right. I want the keys to their car so I can drive my people around in their luxury vehicle.
And I feel like those kind of things are. Like I look at Dallas and like Big X.
It's very powerful.
I look at Dallas and Big X and I'm like I was just listening to what is it he just did, the NWA.
Oh man.
I'll say that's incredible. When I first heard Big X, I was like, oh, you're definitely with a label because these songs cost money.
I'm saying
these songs cost money. Man. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's like, but we see him everywhere and they move like a label moves. I don't think you get the idea because otherwise I feel like without that label backing, that album is a cool album. But with the
certain placements you can't get on the playlist on certain things if you don't have their backing because they own 40% of the streaming platforms.
Yeah.
So it's certain things that eventually, if you are blessed and fortunate enough to get the right record and to get the right movement, and you are able to do a deal that's beneficial to you as well as them. It's a business. It got to benefit both sides. Mm-hmm. You know, if you're fortunate to get in that position to do that, then a lot more opportunities become available. Now, if you, and once those opportunities become available, if you just so happen to have a great song and a hardworking artist, you know how many more opportunities come with that? So a lot of the things that we do, we shouldn't be doing, but we do them because of we're easy to work with. We're going to be professional in the work that we do. Our artists are going to deliver. Like, that's just, so people like, we can put like this Saturday coming up, which is April 4th. I'm not sure when this is going to drop. So April 4th, my artists are doing a Dynamo home opener.
That's huge.
Jersey unveiling and all of that good stuff. Why? They've all performed at the Dynamo and Dash halftime shows in previous seasons. The fans love them. They were easy to work with the organization. We don't have a problem about them posting. There's no weapons or guns or weed or they're not any of that stuff. So we can comfortably post them on our socials and our kids and parents won't be offended. No. So it's opportunities that we get now because of how we move. And we move that way so when that deal and the opportunity comes, we're already in motion and prepared. It won't be new to us. We'll be used to it. We do things a certain way because if I have major label experience, Bradley has major label experience, David has major label experience. If we've all have worked and been a part of these systems in some capacity, why would we move any differently?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we tell artists, you have to be the star that you want to become. Labels, we have to be the labels we want to become. I put 10 times more pressure on us as executives than I do the artists. So my expectation of the executives on our team is so much greater and harsher than the artists. But that's why they're never late. Our artists move a certain time because I need the artist to see multiple levels. I I have a CEO that they'll never question if I'm giving them 100% every day. Mm-hmm. But then they also know that we have a team of people that's working on them that's going to give them 100% of every day.
Yeah.
So what is your reason for not giving us 100%?
Yeah. We talked earlier about mistakes that your artist could make. Mm-hmm. And like you said, you're hard on yourself. Are the mistakes that you've made mm-hmm. when it comes to L.O.U.D? What are some things when you look back where you're like, you know what? I'm changing this. I'm going to tweak this. I'm going to do this different.
So this is going to sound like cliche or superficial. And it's just really within the past year or two that I've started to get more of. I just refuse to have a gray area. I think I played stuff too political early. I was too busy trying to balance and play nice. Mm-hmm. Now, if it's fuck me, it's fuck you times 10.
I'm okay. That's what I want to get at, because you have definitely started change. Look, take L.O.U.D Fest or things. It felt like in the beginning it was very peace and love. Mm-hmm. Everybody come hang out. I got this for you. I got this for you. I'm gonna tell you right now, in our talks, and this is just on side talks when we talk, it has gone from y'all all come and participate because I've got something for y'all to, man, I'm picking out who I want to be here.
Because when I've opened it and made it available, I watch people spit in our face. I watch people come to our event and then shit on us later. I watch people come and get all of their content and then won't tag a soul, won't shout, won't do nothing, but will tag and overly promote any and everything else that doesn't do anything for them. So I've just gotten to a space to where, not in a mean space or a bad space, I've just outgrown, like, hey, I feel like I've given all the chances. Mm-hmm. I feel like I've extended enough olive branches. I feel like I did a document in January where I listed all of the artists that we put on stage in 2025. Yo, we put over 832 artists on stages in 2025. Like, what other record company is doing that for artists that don't have no obligation to me?
Yeah.
It's not just the city. That's anywhere.
So for me, I've gotten to the place like, you know what? I don't feel bad telling you no. I don't feel bad calling you on your shit. I don't feel bad walking away from people. I don't feel bad turning stuff down. I used to be like, okay, I know this ain't going to benefit me, but I know this is going to benefit you. Let me look out. Let me do this. I'm past that because I have yet to do that. And it came back in a beneficial way to me or anybody on our team. And I just realized, like, you know, we're in the industry of a lot of ungrateful motherfuckers. It's a lot of ungrateful motherfuckers.
Look, we talk, and it's not even to say that names, we wouldn't name names, but there are things where I'm like, okay, at least you get more of a chance to focus on your artist. Because we talked about people, it's like, hey, I've helped this person, nobody ever mentions me. Or this has happened, I ain't get it, or I don't get an invite. Yeah. This didn't happen, but we invite this person out all the time. Oh. They don't do this at all. It's not necessarily reciprocal. So it felt like now it's like you're almost like closing ranks. Like, I'm focusing on my artist. That's it.
That's it. I don't, man, when I tell you, I just don't have the bandwidth for anybody else anymore. I don't have the capacity to want to do it for anybody else anymore, because I feel like it takes a lot out of me when I'm let down. And I'm never let down because of somebody made a mistake. I'm let down because now I see your character. Now I see your integrity. Oh, now I see how you moving. Like, okay, Derrick, it's on you. Got you. You're right. It'll never happen again. And I just realized that now I don't have to accept every phone call. I used to feel like, man, I got to take this call. I'm going to miss this call. Now, nah. I got to respond to every email. Now, no. This person, I don't care about any more sad stories. I don't care about what you don't have or what you can't do or who's not doing it. I just don't. I'm not saying that I don't care about people in general. I just don't care for the excuses. I don't care for the reasonings no more. It's like, it ain't got shit to do with me. It's not affecting my team. I'm not with it. And like I said, I've seen it so much, and my team have seen it so much. We've seen so many different people come through our system. And when you scroll their timeline, their pictures come from us. Their videos come from our events. Our logos in their background. Our hats are in their photos. Like, and the smallest thing if they go to a YouTube event, yo, thank you at YouTube for having us here to do yada, 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 yada. And all you did was just go sit in there and watch a new video on the screen that YouTube is advertising a new program. But you just gave them a big shout out, as opposed to we've put you on a stage in a show and a flyer and put you on the news, on the radio and this. And then when you come to the event and you posting all your stuff, it's never like, shout out to L.O.U.D Music for this. Shout out to this artist for letting me open up for him. Shout out for this person for taking me on the tour. It's like, oh, okay, you use our platform to make it about you. That's what you're supposed to do, but you won't give no credit. Bet, shop's closed.
I mean, it goes back to perception, because people, you perceive, hey, YouTube's big, and people are going to pay attention to the fact that it's like, I added YouTube and I'm at YouTube's office.
See if they put you on the festival.
YouTube, yeah.
Call Leo and tell him to put you on the festival. Call Leo and tell him that, you got a couple of kids, you don't have it right now, but you want to release your new single and you need help, so you really want to do the festival. Cool. Call them and ask them if they'll do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. I'm really in a space now to where it's my competitive nature has always just been me on the industry, but now my competitive nature has kind of shifted or expanded to like, okay, do it without me. Be on another festival without me. Do the House of Blues without me. Do these things that's not attached to me. If you don't need to give us credit or you want to shit talk us behind our back, cool. Let's see if you can do it again. Most of them don't. I have not met anybody that have.
Dang.
Yeah. And like I say, now the beauty of it all, my team has always, they identify it, they see it, they hear it. I've always been the one that's been kind of like, nah, man, we trip. Nah, we just let it go. That's just how people are. But now I realize, like, we don't have to accept people as they are. It's our choice.
Yeah.
Because shit, you don't want to fuck with me, you don't have to. You're not giving me anything. Nobody, I don't want to misspeak. And if I do misspeak, please charge it to my head and not my heart. Don't nobody call us for shit. Don't nobody call us and say, hey, Derrick, I have this for you. Hey, Derrick, I think this will fit your artist. Hey, Tim Ned, I'm shooting this event. Pull up with me, and that way I can connect you. Hey, I'm going over to this studio, Cody. Come over here and write. Like, nobody calls us for anything, but they can definitely pick up the phone to call when they need. It's the same number. So I'm just like, you know what? I don't have nothing to offer anymore.
No, I can understand how that goes, but it's like, even with us interviewing numerous people, they're always talking about how that is kind of reflective in the city.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that is in Houston? Because you're saying you're taking, you're going to Atlanta and you're saying, hey, this is going to be the biggest one. But like in Houston, you're going to make it smaller because it seems like we just can't get on the same page. Why do you think that is?
So I think from my experience and what I've seen, we have a lot of people here who are just envious of each other. Houston has a really jealous spirit. Like, people aren't really friends like they say they are. They ain't cool like you would think they are. They don't hang out like you would think they do. We haven't had a lot of leadership come from the city. We've had artists, but we haven't had a lot of top level managers that can come in, and we haven't had A&Rs that could come in, and record executives that came from the city that are able to. Most of the decisions made here were made by the artists.
Yeah.
So
they've had artists say that. I mean, but Paul picked up his phone and made a video about that years ago on Instagram where he's like, Houston needs more executives. They need more business people. There's not a business infrastructure here. It's artists that have gotten popular and are using that. And like, you can be as popular as you want, but that doesn't mean you can necessarily push another artist. That doesn't mean you can get them up. Yeah. And I can get you popular.
But then,
I don't mean
but
that.
also, you also got to have people that are willing to understand, like, you know what? In this day and age, sometimes that person behind the scenes is going, your work behind the scenes will now get you in front of the scenes.
Yeah.
People love to know who made shit happen. So now you have a lot of high-powered celebrity executives who many years ago you would have never had pre-social media. And I think a lot of artists make decisions. Houston artists, the legends that came before us all, they would wrapped vehicles, sold CDs out the trunk, pressed up mixtapes, pressed up shirts, passed out flyers. They put in a lot of leg work. And they didn't put that leg work in to hand it to somebody else. Oftentimes they were funding their own situations. So they were the business behind everything that they did. It wasn't a lot of executives who said, hey, I'm just going to handle the business. And shit, a lot of the executives who handled the business, that was just the money man to front stuff. And, you know, he couldn't put his business out in Front Street or it's a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
So I think Houston has this selfish mentality. If you really, really think about it, the overall mentality of Houston is the mentality of one artist. Houston is really like one selfish ass artist. That's how everybody moves. You know, if you look at all of the issues that you can find in an artist, those are the issues that reflect Houston. Because we've only ever been led by those artists.
Yeah. So one at a time type thing.
Yeah.
And that goes back to who collaborated when they were at the top. Only one I can really think of off the top of my head would be Slim. Slim had Boys in Blue, boom, gave us Killer, gave us Less. Producers,
Sauce?
Gavin and, what you mean Sauce?
Sauce Walker?
Oh yeah, he put his TSF team on.
Yeah. I mean, the conversation that we've had before is like, I hear what you're saying and I always think I agree with it, but I always think it's just because our infrastructure and media as well. There's not a lot for artists to even if you are trying, there's just not a lot of places to take anything to.
But that's why I created the Radio and Press Junkie.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get it. Yeah.
That's why, because there was not a publicist that could get me that level of media.
Yeah.
Then I looked at my phone and be like, I know everybody. Let me call my friends. Let me hit my people up and get them all in one room. And it just so happened when you step back and look at the room, it's like, oh shit. I was at the St. Jude Celebration of Hope in Memphis last year. And I met a guy. He does PR marketing for Beyonce, Busta Rhymes, Missy Elliott. I went over to, hey, how you doing? I'm Derrick McKinney. Oh, you the guy that do the little media event in Texas that I don't know about or don't get invited to. I'm like, damn. And he taps his other partner on his arm. He said, hey, you know the event in Houston, the press event? This is the guy, Derrick, that does it. Why we don't get an invite? So I'm like, wait a minute. I'm not a name dropper, but these are two guys that,
yeah.
And they telling me about the event. Yeah, because I called such and such, and he told me he was down in Houston at the event, and I looked it up, and I was like, How come I'm not in it? I got Beyonce. I got this person. How do I not get on the list? Those moments tell me like, I know we doing this shit right. I know this shit works. But you just got niggas here that like, they ain't coming because, oh, that's loud music. I don't really like Derrick. I don't really know why I don't like, but I don't like Derrick, so I ain't going. At the press junket, I had a table with Success, who's VP of A&R at Atlantic. I had Sean Barron, who at the time was VP A&R of Motown, Capital Motown. And I opened it up to every other label in the city to be able to have a table, because I knew we got 800 artists that's going to be there and like 500-600 coming from out of town. Not one other label showed up. Worst case scenario, as a label, you should have been there and put your artists in front of all of that media.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It don't hurt.
But you're going to fly to New York, have these meetings, pay whoever you need to pay thousands of dollars to do X, Y, and Z, and you could have did it right there in the room, and I could have walked you right over. Hey, look out for my people.
That is true, because I do see some people that will go to New York to get like to be
the photo
on
of YouTube
on the YouTube version of a show. You'd be like, yeah, you was on the show, but were you really? Like, were you?
And people will. I feel like a lot of times Houston will celebrate people. Like, we celebrate. It's like a big ass little league football team, and everybody get participation trophies. The rest of the country is in the NFL. We have, man, when I tell you Houston got some talent,
it's the best talent ever. Look what we talked about earlier. I mean, even with you talking about the person that
do you know how many Grammy nominated or Grammy winning artists, producers, or engineers that are right here in this city across all genres?
Across all genres, across, I mean, when we're talking about just the backgrounds of music, the people,
Cam Franklin,
jazz,
Susan
just
Carroll.
talking to Cam Franklin, like, Susan Carroll.
I will take Zero, Killer, Marcus Clay, and you could take them to any city in the world, and you're not gonna find three better than them.
Yeah,
not at all.
Like, you know what type of the level of talent that you have in this city,
man. Propane, shout out to Propane. My God, man. I mean, like, why does Propane not have like a multi-platinum album?
Or you look at artists like Les, L.O.U.D, the same thing. You're starting to see more. I've seen some of the blogs and things like that start to pick them up, but it is a thing where it's like, you are here and you have a work output, and you've definitely been getting response from that work output, but
again,
it is.
You got Flip, who sold 22 million records, and the city don't act like he sold 22 million records.
No, they do not treat him like he's Flip like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, that's it. Because, even with that, so you manage Flip, right? And that is an artist that has sold 22 million records internationally, worldwide.
Yeah,
but there is also like that familiarity thing where it's like, I feel like people are like, well, okay,
Flip is the nicest rapper you'll ever meet.
And I can see Flip out in the street.
And
that kind of thing.
And I would like, and me here, I tell him like, nah, fuck that. No, say no. Raise the price. No, don't do it. Flip will figure out, well, they good people. And I'm like, man, Flip is one of the nicest human beings. Damn the rap. As a human being, as a person, he's one of the nicest people you'll encounter. He's respectful to women. When you see people out in the stores or when we're out places, if it's elderly people, he hold doors. Like, he's just a good human being. And you can't expect greatness. You can't expect a great product from mediocre people. They don't have it in them. Flip sold 22 million records because he's a great human being. That sold those records. Music kept jamming and people like it. It was that, but it was meant for him to sell those records because who he is as a person. God and the universe and the world knew he would be a good steward of that level of talent and fame. And I'm a firm believer in that. And so, and it's the reason why others don't sell those kind of records.
Yeah.
And you can take the exact opposite of what he is and somebody else, and that's why they don't sell those kind of records.
And then there's also the fact of, so you manage Flip now, and Flip still puts out. I mean, Flip just put out an album.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, what is your game plan when you're managing an artist that has sold 22 million worldwide, and also you balance that as like he's here in Houston, and it's like you're in a market that doesn't necessarily appreciate you. So you're saying you're like
Right.
you don't get appreciated. How do you go about marketing and then still selling that artist?
So, fun fact with Flip, you market and sell him to white, Latin, and Asian people. The people that are quote unquote on social media and the motion and all of that stuff, they just don't count. They don't move the needle. Because if they did, you know how many stars there would be?
Yeah.
How many records would be sold if they really counted? And I know you asked me earlier, like somebody who's been a part of viral campaigns and digital, how do you not get caught up in it? Because I see how it just doesn't work. It just doesn't count. Because if it did, everybody that I can look at a campaign and I can see what blogs they went to, what radio stations went to, what interviews they did, and I know the publicists that put it together. And I can tell you the whole play from start to finish. And I'm like, why would I do that? So there's certain things with Flip, man, Flip is probably booked at minimum 3 to 4 days out the week outside of Texas. What Houston don't realize, Flip's peers, you have to look at the Lil Jons, the Chingies, the Yin Yang Twins, the Young Jocks. Like, those are Flip's peers. So he moves around the country a lot differently than when he's home. I don't think the city ever really respected what he was doing for the city across the country.
No.
Yeah.
Once it got to the second album, honestly, let's be honest. Once he said the line, "I treat you like milk, I'll do nothing but spoil you," the city was like, "I'm good."
But you know what? That Sunshine was a record he didn't want to do.
It doesn't matter if you didn't want to do it.
But you know how big that record is across the globe?
Yeah.
Any artist would be like, bro, I would have that record.
Yeah.
Like Houston, and this is like me growing up in Houston in the early 90s. There came a time where Houston worked really hard and would say, man, we ain't doing that down south rap. We ain't doing that coming down shit. We ain't doing that old H-Town flow. That's old, man. We ain't doing that no more. There was a pocket of years where DJs, radio, media, club promoters, they would shit on that.
Yeah, I remember.
Now all of a sudden,
I feel like it
just ended. You know,
I'm not even gonna say it just ended. It's going through the process
of ending.
Like, I think it takes. You're seeing Dallas artists. You're seeing. First of all, I was seeing Dallas artists start to do it first, where they're like, "I will remain steadfast in my Dallas sound." But then you're seeing artists like Quiet Money and things like that are like
one of my favorite new. And I tell him every time I see him, he's one of my favorite new artists.
Yeah,
Coke.
Yeah, super dope, man.
And you're seeing them say, "I'm gonna do my music, and I do not care that y'all."
But you know what the difference is? Like we said about with media, it's also when you go back. Houston has such a strong nightlife club culture here.
Yeah,
but Houston's nightlife culture seems to have adopted everything Atlanta, Miami, LA.
Yeah.
It feels like you're everywhere else except Houston.
Yeah.
So people here, like if you get behind Quiet Money Dot in a lot of these mainstream clubs or popping clubs or whatever, and the DJs are pushing his record, they're pushing the Eddie Coke record, like, do you not know what that will do for the city financially?
Yeah.
More DJs would be booked for more opportunities to do Houston. Like, they're not flying a Houston DJ to do Atlanta to play Atlanta. But Houston will bring Atlanta DJs to Houston to play Atlanta. Yeah. And then guess what every out-of-town DJ comes to the city and do? They play, oh, I'm in H-Town. Let me play an H-Town set. We got niggas right here that could have been playing that H-Town set. But if a Houston DJ play that H-Town set, hey, man, stop playing that H-Town shit.
Yeah.
But you would play this nigga from DC or this nigga from LA to come out here and do what you got some overly qualified, hot-ass DJs in this city. I watched GT play television theme songs in the club and turn it out. Oh, this nigga playing Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Golden Girls, and like mind-blowing.
Yeah.
High C, you got Rogers, you got Young Streets, you got DJ C. Watts, you got DJ Tay Boogie, you got DJ Nightcap. It's some DJs in this city that are fish grease hot. That if they had the opportunity to play what they wanted to play, not saying that they don't because they're big enough names and they can, but if the crowd would be receptive to hearing new music and not just on TikTok, man, Houston would be dangerous. Because as many out-of-towners can come here and leave with nothing from here. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You can't go to Atlanta and not be introduced to something, a new sound or a new song from Atlanta. Yeah. You've never heard LA DJ tell YG, man, you know, you sound too West Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a Houston DJ will tell you, oh man, you know, this sound like too culture, too H-Town, man. You know, that sound old. Like,
I almost think it's kind of happening in reverse, not necessarily in reverse, but I do think like things like the popularity of the rodeo, where people are like, oh, Houston has an image that they actually like. It's like, oh, I got black people down here dressed like cowboys riding horses. They also got slabs. They also got cars. They also got money. It's like, this is a part of their culture. And now you get more people that are like, yeah, man, this is Houston culture. There are a lot of things. So you'll see people start to come down, like they experience Alameda and they recognize like, okay, this is.
But they're not hearing Houston music.
It's not.
See,
it's not at all.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
And with me being in the music industry, that's why I'm saying that that's a problem.
It is a problem.
When all of these out-of-towners come here, they should leave. Hey, there's this cat in Houston they talking about named Quiet Money Dot. Oh, man, we was in Houston and we was seeing the Slabs. This the music that they play in the Slabs. Yeah. Like, that conversation isn't happening when people leave.
Yeah.
They love the clubs. Our club promoters have built a phenomenal nightlife here. I think we've taken over Atlanta's nightlife scene. Excuse me. We've taken over Miami's nightlife scene. Yeah. Like, Houston's nightlife, and nightlife in Houston starts at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday, nigga, all the way through Sunday.
All the way to 11 p.m. on a Monday.
Come on, man.
Yeah. It's something to do every night.
And the people who've actually done it the right way, they've killed the game.
Yeah.
They've done a phenomenal job. Now, if we can just start to put those pieces together to where, true story, man, I was in Atlanta for the BET Hip Hop Awards. This was probably like 15 years ago, if not 20 years ago. My guy, Jeremy Miller, J Mills, was the CEO of Source Magazine, and him and his partner, Isaac Hawkins, we call him Big Hawk. He used to play for the Denver Broncos. They owned a magazine called Down Magazine. And I flew to Atlanta and I met him at the hotel, hopped in the car with him, 5-6 cars, we boom, rode to a studio. Got to the studio, room full of DJs and club promoters. Hey, this is BET weekend. This the artist, we finna run him around all night tonight. We coming by your spot. Hey, you gonna play his record, you gonna do this, you gonna do that. Bet. And then we gonna do this one next. I'm like, oh shit. And I'm sitting there looking like, these are different club promoters, different DJs, and like, I'm like, oh shit. So the next day, they ran the play. Ran the artist around. His manager was driving a yellow Hummer at the time. H2 Hummer had just came out. Boom. We hit Strokers. We hit all these different clubs. We hit these BET parties and whatever. And you know the song that they was pushing? Ain't I by Young L.A.
I love it.
They ran that all around the city. And I watched, I'm like, oh, okay. Bet. And rest in peace, Clay Evans was the person running them around, who's T.I.'s manager and Duval's manager. And he was running Young L.A. around that BET weekend. And I was like, damn. And I watched, and I think that answers a lot of the questions that we've talked about so far of there's an executive in that city. You had Clay Evans that was able to wrangle and pull everybody together. Then you had DJs and promoters who was on the same page when it came to the venues. Then you had the artists and the label side of things that was able to say, hey, let's execute. And boom, they press play. And they, next thing you know, ain't I out of here? Like, you know, it was running.
Yeah.
And like, could you imagine if we did those things here?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
that's
and I'm not saying they don't happen. I haven't been in the rooms, but I'll be honest with you. When you are having people in those rooms, I should be one of those people in the rooms because there's not many people that do marketing and branding and execute digital strategies the way I do. In this digital age, like, see, they'll send me messages on Instagram, or like I said, they'll pull me to the side when they see me. But when it's time to,
it's time to rally the troops.
Nah, we ain't gonna call him.
That's word.
Yeah, it is. It is super.
But I mean, it does show, like, even that instant when you're talking about A&I, it's like, you know, online people would be like, oh, you know, such and such, press the button. And I'm like, that's the business.
Yeah, that's how it
like, a hot song is a hot song. And to be honest, take whether it's hot or not out of it. A lot of times, we're talking about art, right? We're talking about art and the ability to push and sell art. And it is a business to this. It's a collective of people that are like, hey, we're all getting behind this piece of art. And we are going to put our collective effort and all our talent behind this as people. And we're going to see if it catch. And with what we know how to do, we think we can get this to catch. And once that happens, enough people catch. It's like fire. Like, people are, oh, I like that art.
Everybody just do what they do at a high level.
Yeah.
Just do what you do at a high level.
Play your position.
That's it. That's it. Yeah. Like, there's a reason why there's a Hall of Fame left tackle, there's a Hall of Fame left guard, there's a Hall of Fame center, there's a Hall of Fame right guard, a Hall of Fame right tackle, and a Hall of Fame tight end. And they got Super Bowl rings. Everybody played their position at a high level. But that's what most people will not do. Because, wait a minute, your position is a little bit more sexier than my position. So, and you got how much for your position? Ah, man, I should be playing that position.
Yeah.
You got to be in the music video. You got to be in the music video for Cody Blake's Penthouse.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, what? Oh, man. So why I didn't get that? Why? And that's...
And then also recognizing, like we talked about, like the varied styles as well. Like, Houston, that sound can also be a variety of things. Like we talked about Cam Franklin. Cam Franklin just got a Grammy.
Come on, man.
Cam Franklin just got a Grammy. It's like
I was fortunate enough to see her right after she got it. We were at the Grammys together. Well, we weren't there together, but I seen her while we was there. And she had just won a Grammy. So, like, yo, it's somebody. And then Shawnee Morrell, who's on the board of governors with the Grammy, she's here. Like, these people are here.
Yeah, they're here.
But they're never in any conversations.
Yeah.
They're like the conversations that should be had about the music business. The people that are really in the business aren't in the rooms. Like, the people who are actually, and whether you, whatever level of prestige you put on Grammys or not, some people are like, oh, I don't need that. Or some people like, it's like somebody, I've never met an NFL player saying, oh, I don't want a championship. I don't want to be in the Hall of Fame. Nah, you're in the music business, you want this.
And it's not only that, you should recognize how the business itself works. Like, man, look, 3 6 Mafia is like, man, we were a popular group. And that Grammy opened up more doors than we ever thought we could have got. This is a way to make money.
Money.
You came here to make money.
And so the people that are out there, when I'm at the Grammys, I bump into so many Houston people. So many. And we've been intentional, like my Thursday at the House of Blues, this Thursday coming up, Shawnee's band is headlining and running the night. So, like, again, that collaboration piece, I have the House of Blues first Thursday. I say, Shawnee, you and your band, y'all can have it. How much I don't need nothing. Now you and your band, y'all could do the show, put you 2 openers on there, and you keep 100% of whatever money you make off ticket sales. I don't need anything.
Bigger than me.
So I collaborate. I make things happen. I connect people with zero expectations that you owe me anything from it. But I also am cognizant and mindful to understand when you don't even attempt to reciprocate. So then I know, like, okay, I just know where to put you. I don't regret anything that I do. Shawnee is phenomenal. I know, like, we locked in. So that's why I have zero problems opening that opportunity for her, because I know, her talent is going to show out. Her band is going to show out. It's going to look great for me to say, hey, I know her. So I'm cool with that. But then also there are other people that are like, hey, bro, I should be on this. Let me do this. Let me do that. There's nothing in the history of anything that warrants you should be doing what she's doing.
Yeah, who is you? Yeah. Like, looks like at the end of the day, the price of the brick done went up.
Man, listen, bro. And after a few of these things happen this year that come up, what Denzel say on American Gangster, you don't talk to me.
You didn't talk to him.
He talks to me. Yeah. That's where that's where I'm going. That's where I'm trying to get to, man. We got some phenomenal shit that's gonna happen this year. And when it do, it's gonna be like, yeah, I told you so. I told you so. Not in a rub it in your face kind of way, but it's like, I gave you an opportunity to believe and to be down and be a part. And you
yeah, you're not wrong. You're early.
Come on now.
Even though they can't talk to you, where can the people find you?
I don't even know if I want them to find me no more. No, I'm just, man, I'm easy. Instagram, Derrick MC, DERRICK MC, official loud, spelled out official loud on Instagram. Our website, L.O.U.D Muzik, and music is spelled MUZIK.com. And then, anybody on our team, Bradley Johnson, Mayoshi, David, or people call him Cootie, K Rich, Kareem, Dwayne, our artist, Tim, Cody, Skyra, Chris, AKA Fat. Man, everybody is pretty reachable, pretty accessible, and you don't get no fly shit, no weird shit from any of us.
Perfect. Well, look, we just want to thank you for coming on. Once again, this has been In My Humble Opinion podcast. My name is Avery, like a very nice guy. This is my brother,
Just Devon.
And H-Town, it's too sweet. H-Town is too sweet. Goodbye, turtleneck.